Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
Moving into my new apartment, a place with high ceilings and a faint, sweet smell of aged wood, felt like a fresh start. It was a blank canvas, and I, Jasper LeBlanc, was ready to paint my life anew. The only problem was it felt a little too empty. So on a whim, I decided to browse a local estate sale. That's where I found it. A magnificent, floor-length antique mirror with an intricately carved, dark oak frame. It was heavy, too heavy, the kind of heavy that felt almost ancient. I paid way too much for it, but it was perfect for the main hallway, adding an immediate sense of history and grandeur to my otherwise minimalist space. For a few weeks, it was just a mirror. I'd glance into it, fix my hair, nod at my reflection. Nothing unusual. Then one evening I was walking past it, and in the periphery of my vision I saw something strange. Not my apartment, but a flicker of a different room. Darker, grittier, with peeling wallpaper where mine was smooth and freshly painted. I stopped, turned fully, but the image was gone. Just my hall, perfectly reflected. I chalked it up to tiredness, a trick of the light. But it happened again, and again. Short, jarring blips of an alternate reality. Sometimes it was just the room subtly decayed. Other times, I'd catch a glimpse of a different figure, a shadow moving in my peripheral vision, not quite human, not quite defined. The worst was when I started seeing myself in these reflections, but not quite me. My face would be a little too gaunt, my eyes too wide with an expression of profound, soul-deep terror that wasn't what I was feeling at all. I'd watch my reflection, and for a split second, its mouth would open in a silent scream before snapping back to normal, calm Jasper. I started avoiding the mirror, walking with my head down or taking the long way around. But the apartment felt colder near it, a deep, pervasive chill that no amount of heating could dispel. I told myself it was just an old building, old windows. One night I was watching TV, and I swear I heard a faint whisper coming from the hallway. A soft, sibilant sound, like someone dragging dry leaves across stone. I froze, my heart hammering. When I finally mustered the courage to look, the mirror's surface seemed to ripple, as if something had just passed through it. My sleep became restless, plagued by dreams of an inverse world, a mirror dimension where everything was wrong, and I was perpetually trapped, watching my true self live on, oblivious. I tried to cover the mirror with a thick blanket, but it felt like I was fighting a physical force. The blanket would slip or mysteriously unravel. Once, I found it on the floor, perfectly folded, several feet away from the mirror. I started talking to my sister, Chloe Needham, about it. She listened patiently, but her tone was dismissive. "Jasper, honey, you're stressed. Moving, new job. Maybe you just need a vacation." She didn't believe me, not really. I was alone in this. Then came the marks. Small bruises, faint scratches, appearing on my skin. I'd see them in the mirror before they appeared on me. A faint red line across my cheek in the reflection, and then, hours later, a sting as I touched my face and found the exact mark there. It was as if whatever was happening in the mirror was bleeding into my reality, or perhaps my reality was bleeding into its own, and it was showing me the consequence. The mirror wasn't just reflecting, it was consuming. I realized this when I looked into it one morning, and my reflection was almost a perfect copy of the gaunt, terrified version of myself I'd seen before. My face was still mine, but it was overlaid with an unsettling pallor, my eyes sunken. I could feel a cold presence behind me, even though I knew no one was there. It wasn't just showing me things anymore, it was becoming me, or making me become it. Panic seized me. I had to destroy it. I grabbed a hammer from my toolbox, my hands trembling. As I approached the mirror, my reflection shifted. It grinned, a wide, terrifying rictus that stretched its features beyond human recognition. Its eyes, my eyes, were black pits. A low, guttural growl vibrated from the mirror, a sound that made my teeth ache. I swung, not at the grinning horror, but at the reflection of my own fearful face. The hammer hit with a sickening thud, not glass shattering, but something resilient like stone. The reflection screamed, a sound that wasn't a whisper but a deafening shriek that tore through my ears. I kept swinging again and again, until the ornate frame splintered, and the mirror's surface finally spiderwebbed, then cracked into jagged shards that fell inward, dissolving into a shimmering black mist. I collapsed, gasping, the hammer still in my hand. It was over. It had to be over. I spent the next few days and a days cleaning up the remnants of the frame, throwing the broken pieces into the dumpster, careful not to look at them. The cold spot was gone. The apartment felt warmer, normal. I started to believe Chloe had been right, that it was all just stress. But then, a week later, I caught my reflection in the window of a coffee shop. It looked like me, but there was a subtle difference. The way my eyes caught the light, the almost imperceptible tilt of my head, it felt sharper, more defined. Later, walking past a puddle, I saw not just my face, but for a fraction of a second, the decaying wallpaper from the mirror's other world behind me. I blinked, and it was gone, just the cloudy sky. I tried to ignore it, but it kept happening. In store windows, in the polished surface of my phone screen, even for a split second in the deep brown of a stranger's eyes. I'd see a flicker of the gaunt, terrified face, or the dark, distorted room, or sometimes, just nothing at all, as if I wasn't even there. And when I looked into my own eyes, deep in a mirror, I sometimes wonder if it's really me staring back, or if I'm now just a reflection trapped forever on the wrong side of the glass. I keep checking everywhere, every reflective surface. Because sometimes, just sometimes, I catch a glimpse of the real Jasper, lost and screaming on the other side of my own eyes. I don't know who I am anymore.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.